Hey guys, Rich from Richmond Gaming. Hope everyone is doing fantastically well. And we are back with another full playthrough of our new favourite game, Marvel United. This time we're going to be taking a look at the X-Force box. We're going to be using Stryfe that comes in that box. And we're going to be looking at a new set of rules when it comes to some of the new locations that we've got. And that's one of the nice things about this pack. We do actually have some nice new locations that we're going to be including in the game. So let's jump straight over and take a look at that. But before we do, remember guys, stick around until the end of the video to find out how you can win this absolutely amazing Storm Mohawk character with all the character cards. It's a Kickstarter exclusive. You cannot buy this anywhere at the moment. It is Kickstarter exclusive. So if you want to get your hands on it, make sure you stay around to the end of the video and yeah, we'll go through everything you need to know there. Okay then guys, well here we are with our board set up. And first of all, I want to just take you through Stryfe, who is going to be the villain for this particular setup, obviously playing against X-Force. And I want to start off by showing you his card. So you can see here, we're actually going to be playing with 3 characters. I'll go into them in a minute. But he is going to be starting out with 9 health in total. Special rules, he's got his Dark Riders. On each hero turn, the first thug attacked requires 2 fights to be defeated, so yeah, going to be a little bit harder to take out there. His BAM is deal 1 damage to each hero in Stryfe's location and add 1 thug to the next location clockwise with an empty slot. So that's nice, so at least it can't actually trigger overflow, which is good. Overflow, if 1 or more tokens can be added to a location, turn all civilians into thugs in the next location clockwise with any civilians. And then villainous plot, if heroes or the heroes lose if all locations are fully occupied by thugs. So almost the reverse to what we had with Magneto, where if there were no civilians left, he won. This time, if locations are occupied by thugs, we're going to have to lose the game. So I think that's going to be a real key thing, taking them out. No special rules or no special setup rules on the back. So we are just using the 3 normal missions that we need to complete. So clear threats, defeat thugs, rescue civilians. Obviously remembering that we can't actually hurt Stryfe or damage Stryfe in any way, shape or form until we have completed those first 2 missions that we choose to do, and we can do them in any order, so we don't have to do them in any particular order. The next thing I want to look at are the 2 different types of threats that Stryfe has, because he does only have 2. So the first one is force fields. As long as this threat is in play, Stryfe ignores 1 damage during each hero turn. Force field effects are cumulative, so we actually have 3 force field effects, meaning that to do 1 damage, we're going to have to do 4. So again, really important to get rid of these threats. And then the other one is Legacy Virus. A hero starting their turn in this location chooses to either skip their draw a card step or ignore 1 action symbol at the bottom of the hero card. And again, we have 3 of them as well. So yeah, they're going to be quite difficult. And we are adding, guys, 1 of the challenge cards this time. And this is a challenge card that is not unique to this setup, but introducing this setup at least for us. Now, you may notice that on some of these locations, we do have these little symbols here. And this is the Hazardous Locations Challenge. So during setup, include 3 hazardous locations in the game. When a hero ends their turn in one of these locations with no threat card on it, they must apply its end of turn effect if possible. Now, I haven't looked, so I don't know what these are yet, but I'm assuming if they are things that we have to do, then yeah, they're not going to be great things for us. So this one's going to be really interesting. I've been really looking forward to this one. Unfortunately, whilst I do have Stryfe almost fully painted, he's not quite finished yet. I have made a start on Domino, but alas, the other two who we are taking with us. So as you may notice there on the left, we've got Cable. And then a character that you may or may not be familiar with is Shatter Star there as well. So they're the three heroes that we are taking. So Shatter Star, Domino, and Cable. So yeah, with all that being said, let's jump in. Let's draw some cards. In fact, actually, the first thing we need to do is decide where our villain is going to start. So I'll just run through the locations. We've got the Moloch Tunnels, which is a Hazardous. We've got the Adirondack, I want to say, Mountains. Stryfe's secret base. I thought it may be a special rule where he always starts there, but that's not the case. Got the Xavier Institute for Higher Learning, Weapon X Facility, and then Murder World. So let's roll a dice. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remembering that these two are connected. So wherever we roll is where we will start with Stryfe, and then we'll start in the opposite place or opposite location for them. And it is another 1. So Stryfe will be starting in the Moloch Tunnels, and then our three heroes, so Cable, Shatter Star, and Domino, are going to be starting in the Xavier Institute for Higher Learning. So now our heroes are in place. Let's take each of their decks and give them a quick shuffle. Draw the top 3 cards. Same for Shatter Star here. And rather than having these cards on display all the time, guys, I am just going to keep them off screen, and then I'll show you them as I'm selecting through them. 1, 2, 3. None of these characters had any starting cards, by the way, which was interesting. I thought they may have done, especially with the sort of healing factor characters that we've seen in the past. They usually do have a starting card, but that wasn't the case. But let's take a look. And as we know, guys, we always start with the villain in the game. So let's give his cards a quick shuffle and see what we need to do first. So let's have a look then at Stryfe's first card. It's got the BAM on there. It's a 0 move, so we're not moving at all. But we are going to BAM, so we resolve the move first. There is no move, but we will BAM. So that BAM is deal 1 damage to each hero in Stryfe's location and add 1 thug to the next location clockwise with an empty slot. So let's get our thug token here. So clockwise is obviously this direction here. So we're going to put that there, but then we also need to add in, if you look there where he's landing, so the space where he lands and then the 2 adjacent locations. So it'll be another thug here, it will be another thug here, and it will be another thug here. Okay, so then we are on to the turn of our hero. So we're going to start off with Cable. So we've got these 3 cards at the moment. We've got 2 fight symbols, we've got 2 wild symbols, and we've got Psychic Mastery. Each hero draws 1 card, then they discard 1 card from their hand to the bottom of their deck. And then that's also got a legendary or heroic action on there as well. But we need to remember that we're on a legacy virus. So a hero starting their turn in this location chooses to either skip their draw a card step or ignore 1 action symbol at the bottom of their hero cards. So I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to skip the draw card step. We're going to play this card from Cable here, which is going to give us 2 fight symbols. That will defeat a thug for us, and then we will be on to our next character, which is going to be let's have a little look here. I think we're actually going to go with Shatter Star. So Shatter Star has got 1 heroic action, or a heroic action with healing factor, and then the move and the heroic action. So let's have a little think here about what we want to do. We need to try and get around to this side of the board because we've got a lot of thugs going on here, but we do have to be aware that we're either going to lose a symbol or we are going to or we're going to have to not draw a card. And I think because we've got that healing factor, I actually think we are going to not draw a card again. So we're going to play this. So heroic action with a move. So let's put that here. So we've now got heroic action, a move, and then we've got 2 fight symbols. So I think what we want to do is we want to move here. And then we are going to use the 2 to defeat this one here again. Because once again, it's going to take 2 there. And then we are going to spend that heroic action to try and get rid of one of these force fields. Because again, I think it's going to be really, really important for us to be able to do that. Then we are on to the turn of Domino. Now, Domino at the moment, we've got Master Assassin, 3 hits to a single villain or henchman in your location with a move at the bottom, 2 wilds, or a movement and a fight. Not really much need for the movement and fight. I'm just thinking we could use this movement and heroic action to basically get rid of this here, which would be nice, but that is going to open up the hazardous side of it as well. So it's really tricky, this one. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to take a card on Domino, which is going to be a single wild. We're then going to play the wild card. So we're going to get 2 wilds, a move, and a heroic action. So we'll use our move first of all to here. We are then going to use the heroic action and one of the wilds, and we're going to get rid of this first force field. We will then lose that second action because obviously we with the legacy virus we don't get to take that one. So we're going to take that out of the way, and then end of turn you must discard 1 action token, if any. So only if you have any. So obviously you can't discard something that you don't have, which is good news for us because we do not have any action tokens, and we're all the way back round and going over to Stryfe's turn. So Stryfe is going to move 2. So 1, 2. He is then going to do his BAM, which is deal 1 damage to each hero in Stryfe's location and add 1 thug to the next location clockwise with an empty slot. So let's do the thug first because that's nice and simple and straightforward. We are then going to have to do a damage to Shatter Star. And I think just purely because of where we are going to get rid of this. We're going to keep that healing factor card in place there. So that goes to the bottom of his deck. And then we also need to do 1 damage to Domino as well. I'm not too concerned about this card at the moment. We don't have henchmen. This will be nice once Stryfe can start to take damage. So let's put that to the bottom as well. We are then going to push out the civilian tokens. So 1 in our current location, which is absolutely fine because there's nobody else there. 2 I should say, to the location next to us here. But we then need to put 1 into the Adirondack, I'm probably saying that completely wrong, mountains, and we can't do that, so we are going to trigger the overflow. If 1 or more tokens can't be at this location, turn all civilians into thugs in the next location clockwise with any civilians. Well, you can see here, guys, if I show you this, that means that all of these turn into thugs. So we can see how important it's going to be for us to start taking these out as quickly as possible. That'll be the end of the turn for Stryfe. So we are back round to Cable, and Cable is still in that position where he needs to either not draw a card or skip one of these steps. So interesting in terms of where we are with it. We've got 2 wild symbols here from Domino already, and then we've got 2 wild symbols and a heroic action symbol there. I mean, we could just get rid of this card completely, but I really need to get rid of some of these thugs. So with the 4 wild symbols, we could get rid of 3 thugs in total, which would clear things up, or we can just get rid of this completely. I don't remember what's on the action at the bottom there. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to draw a card and we're going to ignore 1 symbol. So we've got Techno, Organic, Physiology. So we get a hit and you may draw cards until you have 3 in your hand. So we are going to ignore 1. We're going to spend the 2 wilds, which would give us 4 in total usually, but we, as I say, we have to ignore 1 because of the legacy virus. And I think what we're going to do is just take this legacy virus out of play. So we'd have 3 actions left. We'd use 3 heroic actions on there. And then, ooh, very, very nicely, we do have the draw cards until you have 3 in your hand. So let's do that. Now, it's only going to be 1 extra card, but it gets another wild symbol there. And then we are back round shoot to Shatter Star. Let's have a quick look. Shatter Star, we're going to draw a card because there's no issue there whatsoever. He's got a move and a heroic action, or we've got a heroic action here as well. We've got the 2 wild symbols here. We don't need to worry too much about that one. I think what we do is we play. I think we play this. And what we're going to do is move over to here. We're going to use a heroic action for this here. And then we'll use those 2 wild symbols to remove a single thug from there, like so. And then we are on to Domino, who again will get to draw a card. So we've got a wild, move, attack, move, attack. We've got a move. We've already got a move, and we've already got a heroic symbol there. So we could move an heroic symbol onto there. It would be nice to try and get rid of some of these, but then we don't have enough because it's going to take 2 to do it. So I think what we're going to do is play the wild card. We'll put that there like so. We are going to move to here. We'll then use the wild symbol and the heroic action and then get rid of this legacy virus. So that is another threat cleared. And I need to be really careful now because once we clear the first threat, or once we clear the first mission, sorry, Stryfe becomes under pressure. And that means that rather than every 2 cards I play, every 3 cards I play, he has a turn, it becomes every 2. So increasing his output by 50%. And basically, if he gets to the bottom of his deck, then he wins the game. So let's have a little think then. So we've done that. You may gain 1 fight token. You may exchange action tokens with another hero in this location. I mean, we will take the fight token. There's absolutely no reason not to whatsoever. So let's take that fight token. And then we will be back round to Stryfe's turn. Stryfe is going to move 1. He is going to bam, which will do 1 damage to each hero in Stryfe's location. So let's have a quick look. I think we just get rid of the wild card for Cable at the moment. So let's put that there. His bam then will also add 1 thug to the next location clockwise with an empty slot. So that is absolutely fine. And the order of these are important, guys. So we do the move first, then the bam, then we resolve the tokens that we put down afterwards. But this token is obviously part of his bam. So we need to put 1 here. We need to put 2 here, and we can't. And we need to put 2 here, and we can't. So turn all civilians into thugs in the next location clockwise. So that will be here like so. So we're filling up on thugs thick and fast. And we come back round and we do go into Cable's turn. So Cable right now has a single wild available to him. Let's draw another card. So we've got the Psychic Mastery, we've got Techno-Organic, and then we've got just the normal attack symbol. The normal attack would mean that we'd be able to do 1 damage basically. I think that's probably what we are going to go for. So we'll play that single card there. We will defeat a thug. So we need to do 2 damage, but obviously we've got the symbol there and we've got the wild symbol. Put the thug down there. And then because we're in the Xavier Institute, we get to draw another card. Techno-Active Manipulation. Discard 1 card from your deck to the bottom of your deck to perform 2 wilds. That feels quite nice indeed. Now we are on to Shatter Star. So let's see what he has got. He's got a move and an attack to go alongside his healing factor. Now we've already got an attack here. So I think what we're going to do is play that move and attack. And then we will move to here. And then we'll use those 2 attacks to do a single damage to a single thug. And that will be it for Shatter Star's turn. And then we are on to Domino. So she's got a attack and then she's got 2 move attacks. So we've already got a move with an attack. So what I'm thinking is it worth us double moving? So using one of these to double move up, being able to do a damage here, but then getting a card back. And I think that could be worthwhile to do. So she will do that. She's going to move to here. She is going to use those 2 attacks to get rid of these 2 thugs here. But she's then going to spend... Is she going to spend that hit token? I don't think she is actually. I think she's going to hold on to that attack token for a little while longer, and then we'll be back around to Stryfe's turn. Telekinesis Mastery. Deal 2 damage to each hero in Stryfe's location. Now it does say move clockwise to the next location with the most heroes. We're already there, so I'll take that as that's where he is. One thing I did forget was to draw cards for Domino, so I will do that now. So we'll just pop that there as well. But we do need to deal 2 damage to each hero in Stryfe's location. Let's start with Cable. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to start and we're going to take away these 2. So we're going to take those 2. We're going to keep the Techno-Organic Physiology. So we'll pop those 2 to the back of his deck. Then we need to do 2 damage to Domino. We've already got a move and an attack that Cable's going to be able to use. I think we're going to get rid of these 2. We're going to keep the move and the attack. I like having the 2 symbols on there. So let's put them to the bottom of her deck. Luckily, no thugs or other tokens to put out there this time round. So we are now back to Cable. So we've just got the single card. Let's have a look. Psychic Mastery. Each hero draws 1 card and then they discard 1 card from the bottom of their deck. Or a single attack and draw cards until you have 3 in your hand. So let's have a little think about this, because we have a move and an attack already. So we could... I think what we're going to do is play Techno-Organic Physiology, because that'll allow us to do 1 damage, but we've also got the damage from here, which means that we can do 2. So we'll get rid of this 1 thug. So we're down to 1 left now. Now we may draw cards until we got 3 in our hand. So we've already got 1, so that'll take us, we'll get 2 more. Just 2 basic cards there. Then it says, then we've got 1 move and 1 fight symbol left. So we could, 1 move and 1 wild symbol left. So my thought process is, do we try and do we try and fashion it in such a way that means we can clear the threats and defeat the thugs in the same turn? I think would be desirable, but I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be possible. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to, I want to get rid of one of these. So we're going to move to here and then use that last action to get rid of this, which means that we have now finished this first mission. So Stryfe will now activate after every 2 cards, but we do still have Shatter Star to go first. And he has got himself a move and a attack symbol. And we've got healing factor with a heroic action. So I think what we're going to do is play this card. We are going to perform 2 heroic actions to where we are here. And then he will draw 2 more cards because of that healing factor, taking him back to 3. Vibratory shockwaves. That looks pretty cool. And then because we've had that go, we will be back around to Stryfe because he is now under pressure. So let's see what he does. Psionic Mastery. Until the beginning of the next villain turn, cancel all special effects on hero cards. Okay, so he is going to bam. He is going to bam. So he'll do a damage to Domino, which is going to KO her. So that's the last damage that she had. So she will be KO'd. We'll place her down like so. And then let's finish the effects of that BAM off, which as we know is adding 1 thug to the next location clockwise with an empty slot, which is just like so. Now because Domino has been KO'd, that does trigger the BAM again. However, we're not going to trigger the overflow because it does clearly say the next location clockwise with an empty slot. So that is going to go to here in Murder World. So Domino is now down, but she is the next one to activate. And as we remember, we come back with 4 cards, which is very nice. So she's got probability manipulation. She's got a fight symbol, a move symbol, and a heroic symbol. She's already got access to a single heroic symbol here. But we need to have a little think about what she would like to do. She will come back up. And I think this is more going to be a case of trying to assist and help out Cable more than anything. Because right now, we need to get rid of some of these force fields that we've got in play. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to play the movement card. So it'll be 1 movement and 1 heroic effect. And we're just going to put one of these heroic effects here on this card like so. And then we are back round to Cable's turn. Now, unfortunately, he is in a location with a legacy virus. So a hero starting their turn in this location chooses to either ignore their draw a card step or ignore 1 action symbol at the bottom of their hero card. Now, we already know that because of Psionic Mastery, we've got no more special effects, which is a little bit frustrating. We've already got a movement, and it's whether or not do we draw a card or do we ignore it. I think we're going to draw a card because right now we can't get rid of this, and that's what we want to try and do. So let's draw a card for him, and that's no help whatsoever. So we have to ignore a card. So we're just going to play the normal heroic action card. We will put down another heroic action here, and then we will ignore that movement symbol from Domino, and we are back round to Stryfe. Stryfe Psionic Mastery, bam, again. Until the beginning of the next villain turn, cancel all special effects on hero cards. Now, the luckily here is we don't move. So we do not move, but so he's not going to do any damage. We do get another thug out, and let's have a quick look. So not available, not available. This is going to be the next one available, so we'll put it on the Moloch Tunnels. And we are actually back round with Stryfe. a background with Shatter Star. So he's already got a heroic symbol here. Let's draw him another card. 2 wild actions. That could be nice. Or we've got, yeah, adjacent. I think we play this. I think this is the one that we play. Well, actually, we've already got that there. So do we? That's another one that we would like to try and get rid of, really, isn't it? But it looks unlikely. We can't use special effects. We already know that. So I've completely forgot about that one. Any attacks, we're going to have to do 2 for because it's the first one. Yeah, this one's a little bit tricky. Let's set up Domino and use these 2 wild symbols here. So we're going to spend our 2 wilds. Now to start with, we're going to spend this here. So Cable's heroic. So we'll take this out of the way, which is another force field removed. So we're down to only 1 force field now. And that does also mean that we have cleared our second. So he is now vulnerable to damage. But we do have 2 wild tokens. We probably want to get out of here. And the reason why I'm saying that is that end of turn here is you must add characters to 1 civilian, 1 thug to this location. Let's have a little think about what we would like to do. So we've got 2 wild symbols available to us. We could just move here. I think we're going to do that. We're going to move here, and then we're going to put the wild, use the last wild for this here, like so. And now we are back round to Domino. Remembering we've got no special effects whatsoever. And for Domino, she is starting in a position with a legacy virus. So let's draw a card. Okay, so we've got probability manipulation twice now, which is useless. We've got 2 here, so we do have to ignore a symbol, remember, that's really important. Let's spend, so that would take us to there. We've got 2 wilds, we need to use 1 for that. That's not going to do anything. That's not going to do anything. That's a little bit annoying. Maybe we should have just not taken a card. But let's do this. Let's play the attack symbol. We have to ignore one of these. So we will, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We're going to lose an action here. But we're going to put down another heroic action on here using Shatter Stars. So we've now got rid of the last legacy virus and we just have this force field. And it says, end of turn, you may discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck to gain 2 tokens. And I think that is what we are going to do. We're going to get rid of this. And let's gain 2 tokens. Sorry, before we do that, we're going to spend that token with this here to get rid of one of these thugs. Even if there's no space, we can still get rid of them. Then she will gain 2 tokens at the end of the turn for the card that she has discarded. I forgot she already had a token there, so we can actually use that to do 2 damage to the first thug. We are now back to Stryfe, and this could be telekinesis mastery. Move clockwise to the next location with the most heroes, and then deal 2 damage. So that's Domino, and it is Cable. So Cable will take it first. So Cable 2 damage. We're going to take these 2. We're going to keep him with this 1. Then Domino is going to take 2 damage, which will once again KO her. Which is a little bit frustrating, to say the least, because that means she goes down and it activates his BAM, which will be to deal 1 damage to each hero in Stryfe's location and add 1 to the next clockwise empty slot. So we'll deal 1 damage to Cable, which will KO him, but we'll resolve that afterwards. So the next location here is going to be Moloch Tunnels. He's now dazed, which will, again, trigger the BAM. So it won't do any damage this time because there's nobody there, but it is going to go all the way around and come to here. And you can see, guys, we are in serious trouble of losing this just with how many civilians out there. But let's not forget, he is now open to damage. Cable is up next. He comes back with 3 cards. And we can now, sorry, with 4 cards. And now we can actually use our special abilities. So we've got Psychic Mastery, Techno-Active Manipulation, Just a Wild, and Organic, Techno-Organic Physiology. I think what we're going to do is just straight up, because we've got a damage token here as well. So we're going to play this. We're going to discard. Let's discard this card here to the bottom of our deck. And that will be in total 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, or four actions that we get to perform. 3 wilds, and we've got 1 attack. And I think what we're just going to do is just straight up do damage. Now that would be 4 usually, but as long as this threat is in place, Stryfe ignores 1 damage each hero turn. So that will be down to 3, even though we've done 4. That is going to be reduced down to 3, but that is a third of Stryfe's health taken, and we are back round to Shatter Star, who gets the healing factor card. We've already got 1 wild from here. We've got Vibratory Shockwaves, which is you may discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck to do 3 damage, split as you like in your and adjacent locations. That's really nice. That's the same one. I think we're going to play this. We are going to discard the healing factor card. We're going to use our movement to move up to here. And we are then going to perform the 3 attacks plus the 1 wild attack, which is going to be 4 damage, but again, reduced down to 3 because of that force field that we've got left. And we are now with Stryfe left on only 3 health in total. Does Shatter Star want to trigger the end of turn? I don't think he does. I think he would rather keep those 2 cards in hand. So we are back round to Stryfe's turn. Let's take a look. He's going to move 5. Okay, so let's move him first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to do a BAM, which is 1 thug to the next location clockwise that is empty. That's going to go here like so. His BAM, there's nobody there to do damage to, which is nice from our side, but then we need to add in some more. So 1 token to his existing location, that's fine. 2 tokens to the 1 adjacent, that is also fine, but 2 tokens to the 1 or the other adjacent location, which as you can see, we can't do. So we trigger the overflow. Turn all civilians into thugs in the next location clockwise with any, and that will be that one there. So the Xavier Institute is filling up thick and fast with thugs. Right, we've got a move from Shatter Star. It is Domino's turn. She gets to draw 4 cards. She's got 2 attack symbols, which is real nice. We've got a move, we've got a wild, we've got a attack, and we've got a move. Oh, I think we've done it, guys. We're going to play Master Assassin. Domino will use those 2 moves to move here and here. And then with her 2 symbols, 3 attacks from Master Assassin. That is going to be 5 damage in total. Stryfe only has 3 left. That is a victory for the X-Force. Excellent. Really, really enjoyed that one. Let's jump back over to the other camera and I'll share you my thoughts. Well, guys, that was an absolutely awesome playthrough. Really, really enjoyed that one. Once again, it felt different. Not completely different compared to the core box. I think Stryfe himself as a character, I wasn't too aware of him before I played this game. Obviously, I know X-Force, Cable, Domino, Shatter Star. There was one other character as well. We did get, I think it's Cannonball that comes in the pack, who we didn't choose to use for this one. So we did choose to use, in fact, that's not Cannonball, this one's Cannonball. So we didn't choose to go with 4, we just went with the 3. I feel like when you're playing solo, 3 is about the optimum, really. Always nice to get a win under the belt, and it was really nice to try out one of these challenge cards as well, adding in the hazardous locations. And again, the nice thing with this is these can be added in to any other game that you play as well. Combine them with any of the other challenge cards that we've got in any of the other boxes as well. So really, really enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. I am sure some of the rules I missed out on. Let me know down in the comment section below. It's just one of those things, especially when you go back and watch the videos. I do try and edit them out as much as possible, but I'm pretty sure I made some mistakes. Guys, if you did like this video in any way, shape or form, please leave a like. It really, really does help. And if you haven't already, go and check out our Discord page. We've got a dedicated section there now on Marvel United as well. Plus, we talk about all sorts of other types of Marvel games and indeed MCU stuff as well. And as always, guys, it leaves me with just enough time to say stay well, keep safe, and until next time, bye for now.